Welcome to part 3 of Let's Play Legend of Zagor by Ian Livingstone. At the end of the last part I was on paragraph 3 and I was about to decide which way to go. I'm going to take the second door to the south and turn to 144. Here we go. This door bears a simple magical rune, but it has no visible lock. So will you cast an open spell if you can, turn to 203, beat the door down, turn to 42, or search elsewhere and turn to 3. Okay, we're going to cast an open spell, but just before we do that, I'll just explain about magic rings. Now, if you remember in the first part, I read the introduction and everything. It explained that the magic rings are pretty much just magic points in all but name, almost. The only difference is that you can't go over your initial magic value, which in my case is 7. So I have 2 rings, and if I use them, it'll put my magic points up to 6, so it won't go over. But but say for example I had 4 and I used all 4, it would put my magic points over 7. It would put up to 8, but I can't go over 7. So what I'd have to do is use 3 and then keep 1. So it doesn't really matter too much, but you just can't go over your magic points. More or less, it's just a convoluted way of making it so that you can't ever use in any one instance. Well, I think anyway, in any one instance, more than the number of magic points number of magic points that's your initial value. I think that's what it's trying to do, but there might be instances where you can. I can't remember, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my magic rings down to 0, and then put my magic points back up to 6. Whoops, too far there. 6, and then immediately use the magic point for the open spell to put it down to 5. There we go. And that's that. Yeah, I did put down next paragraph 3 after I ended the last part. Okay, so turn to 203. Okay, once again, this is a room that has been looted. Furniture and paintings have been smashed up. Graffiti are scrawled all over the place. Yeah, not many people know that, unless you're Italian, because the word is Italian. Not many people know that the word graffiti is actually a plural. I think it's 1 graffito and then 2 graffiti. It's like there's similar words like that. I can't remember, but they're Italian. Anyway, so yeah, so it's actually right there saying the plural there. Anyway, so graffiti are scrawled all over the place, and it seems that a couple of orcs couldn't hold their beer and brought it back up over the remains of the desk. Little is left to show what this room was once used for, but to the south there is a door opposite the one you entered by, and on it a network of magical lines resembling a spider's web set first within a circle, then within a triangle. You suspect a magical trap here. If you are Salazar, turn to 71. If you want to smash down this door, turn to 253. If you want to use an open spell, turn to 89. If you don't want to risk the effects of the trap, turn to 3 and search elsewhere. Okay, so we are Salazar, so we're going to turn to 71. In this instance, we have no choice in the matter. It doesn't say if you are Salazar, you can turn to 71. It says turn to 71, which is an order. You remember that the 3 key elements of magical wards and locks are the spider's web, which is a locking element, the circle, which is a protective symbol, and the triangle, which is a magical trap set upon the door. What you have in front of you now is a complex symbol, and it suggests that a powerful wizard must have inscribed it. If you want to smash down this door, turn to 253. If you want to use an open spell, turn to 89. If you don't want to risk the effects of the trap, turn to 3 and search elsewhere. Okay, so what this is if you use the open spell, you'll find it won't work, and then you'll have to use more magic points to get it to open, I think. So counterintuitively, because we are Salazar, it's best to try and smash down the door, because even though we'll be unsuccessful, it'll make it so that we can use the open spell more easily, but we risk losing quite a bit of stamina. But it's a risk worth taking since my skill is 10. Anyway, and I think I mucked it up last time. I think I did actually get 11 or 12 last video, didn't I? So I'm due for some better luck. Getting a dice roll with 2 dice over 10, i.e. 11 or 12, is 1 out of 12 probability, because you can either get 11 with first roll 5, with 1 die being 5 and 1 6, or vice versa, which is 2 out of 36 probabilities. That's 1 out of 18. And then the other probability, because it's an or situation, i.e. 11 or 12, then rolling a 12 there's only one possibility, which is double sixes, which is 1 out of 36. So it's 1 6, another 6, which is 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6, which is 1 out of 36. So so a 36th plus an 18th is, well, if I convert the 18th back to 2 out of 36, it's 236 plus 3 out of 36, which is 3 out of 36. Or 2 out of 36 plus 1 out of 36, I mean, which is 3 out of 36, and simplify that by dividing the top and bottom by 3, and we get 1 out of 12. So the probability of rolling above 10 with 2 dice is 1 out of 12, so the odds are in my favour. So 11/12 probability that I will be successful in the skill thing. Anyway, so we're going to try and smash down the door, so turn to 253. After that explanation of rudimentary probability theory. Right. The symbol on the door detonates as the triangle glows a brilliant orange colour and showers you with flames. Deduct 6 points from your stamina. If you are Salazar, however, you can test your skill, and if you are successful, you lose only 2 stamina points since you managed to avoid the worst effects of this magical hazard. But even you cannot open the door. Turn to 397. Okay, so let's test our skill. Okay, so 2 dice. There we go. And we need this to be less than or equal to 10. And we're successful. Good. Okay, get rid of the buzzing. So that means we only lose 2 stamina points. So lose 2 there. Down to 18. Lovely jubbly. Well, not really lovely jubbly. Badly jubbly. But doesn't matter. Okay, so turn to 397. Now the triangle has disappeared and the web seems to be spreading across the door as if in a defensive let me start again. The triangle has disappeared and the web seems to be spreading across the door as if in a defensive reflex or reflex. Yeah, I'll say reflex. You guess that the web is the magical locking element here. Either you must use an open spell to bypass it, turn to 229 if you can, and wish to do this. Otherwise you cannot open the door. If you can't open this door because you don't have enough magic points to cast the open spell required, or if you don't have a scroll of this spell and need one, you should make a note of this paragraph number so that you can return here later. You will not be able to return here after you have crossed any stairway. For now, however, you leave frustrated at your inability to get into the wizard's inner sanctum. Turn to 3. Okay, so we can use an open spell, so that's why it's a good idea to bash down the door. So we're going to use another another open spell rather, and put ourselves down to 4 again. So that's our magic rings used up now, that we picked up anyway. And we're going to turn to 229. The brainless orcs and zombies of the lower castle could not breach this room because of its magical barrier, so the wizard's chamber is intact. You search it thoroughly, so you must eat a meal here. Okay, let's eat a meal. Provisions have gone down to 7 now. Used to get shops like that used to say goods, provisions and hardware and everything. Now you don't. All you get now is Tesco, Asda and Morrison's. You know, there used to be some adverts on TV when I used to watch TV, which was ages ago, of UK celebrities, Ant and Dec, completely talentless in every possible way. I mean, they used to be on an awful children's program called Biker Grove about this youth centre near Newcastle. Anyway, and then yeah, the adverts had them, and remember they're multi-millionaires. They have in excess of £100 million each or something, and they're so rich and vain. They've had hair transplants and God knows what, and they were advertising Morrison's and saying, oh, it has Market Street in there, just like a real market. And it's just depressing, because at a real market that you have independent businesses and they're working for themselves and paying themselves a decent wage, whereas on quote unquote Market Street in Morrison's they're paid minimum wage and they have to put on an act as if they're all happy working in a supermarket for minimum wage that has a complete monopoly on all food items. But anyway, I don't know how I started talking about this. Oh yeah, I was talking about provisions, wasn't I? Anyway, enough of that. You search it thoroughly, so you must eat a meal here. Done. You find 2 gold pieces, a scroll of the spell, Fast Hands, a flask of fine herbal restorative. You regain 4 points of stamina through drinking this, which you can do at any time except during a combat. Okay, let's just write this down. So we have 2 gold pieces. Let's put this, put the gold up to 12, but keep it a bit separate from the gold tapestry. I don't know why I put 12, I mean 16, I can't even add. Why put M? Put this next to the apostrophe, next to the comma, there we go. Right, anyway. So that's 2 gold pieces, a scroll of the spell, Fast Hands, don't really need it, but okay. Scroll with Fast Hands spell, not really needed for me. I think we established that in the last video. I don't really need scrolls, but I'll take it anyway. Doesn't say that you can't, but I don't know why I'd need it. A flask of fine herbal restorative. Okay, let's just put fine herbal restorative. Yep. So plus 4 stamina. Lovely. What else do we have in this place? A magic ring. So that's magic rings. Let's put that back to 1. We'll put it up to 1 rather. And a tower chest. Ooh. Gain 1 luck point for this fine booty. Damn, you got fine booty, girl. I apologise for that. That was misjudged. Right, tower chest. What do I do with a tower chest? I can't remember. Right. Am I supposed to open the tower chest? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Anyway, tower chest. Gain 1 luck point for this fine booty. We've already done the fine booty joke, so and my luck is at maximum. Is it actually? Is it? Luck is at 7. So I was luck. How did my luck go down to 6? Oh no, I had to spend a luck point. That's why I didn't test my luck. I had to spend it. That's right. Yeah, I remember now. Because I was wondering how could I have been lucky with that awful luck score? That's terrible. Find a scrawled. Wait a minute. What am I reading? You also find a scrawled note, perhaps left. Look, what am I supposed to do with a tower chest? I want to deal with that now. Okay, I'm going to 229. I'm going to search for tower chest and see what I'm supposed to do with that, because I think I'm supposed to do something with it. Tower chest. Each of these, blah blah blah. If you wish to open it, you do not have to do so. You must test your luck. If you are lucky, you will open the chest safely. If you are unlucky, you will trigger a scything blade inside the lid, which will slash your arms, and you must deduct 3 points. The trap can be bypassed using simple blade spray if you can, which will blah blah blah. Roll 1 die. If you roll an odd number, you find. Oh right, I see. Right, so. Okay, so first of all we need to test our luck or use an open spell. I'm going to test my luck here, even though it is awful. 7. So we need to roll 2 dice. This needs to be less than or equal to 7, otherwise I lose 3 stamina points. Yes! Wow, I was lucky. Good. Okay, 6. Good, that's less than or equal to 7. Didn't think I was going to be lucky there, but we still have to put our luck down to 6. Good, that means we keep the stamina points, and then we have to roll 1 die. And if it's an odd number, it's golden talisman. Even number, it's the silver bell thing, isn't it? No, silver dagger, that's right. So we need to roll 1 die. Roll 1 die. It's even, so what do we get if it's even again? Even, you find a silver dagger. So we have 1 silver dagger. Let's just put that in here, down here. So silver daggers. Silver daggers. 1. There we go. And I'll put golden talisman underneath. Golden talisman. Talismans. Talisman. Is the plural of talisman talismen or talismans? Talismans. Talisman. I think it's talismans. I don't think it's a person, is it? It's a word made from Just happens to have man in it, so it must be talismans. If it is talisman, I apologise. Please let me know in the comments. I probably won't remember to look it up. Anyway, I don't have one anyway. What am I saying? I have naught. Yeah, good. I haven't even put anything down. Good. Right. Okay. So we're on 229. So we have one silver dagger. Reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where Grandpa brings his collection of silver dollars or something, and then it's really nice, and he just gives it to the family, and then they just go and spend it, and it's really nasty. That I didn't like that. You know, you just spend them after after he'd spent so long sort of collecting them and stuff. I mean, The Simpsons can be pretty nasty at times. Oh yeah, what are we doing? You also find a scrawled note, perhaps left for an apprentice now long dead, which suggests that the wizard here feared he was to be taken to the jails, and noting that he would take his precious ebony with him. Finally, there is a glowing blue mirror here. It is far too heavy to carry, but if you are Salazar, you realise that this is a teleporting portal. If you wish to use it, you must stand beside it and cast a teleport spell to convey you into the mirror and out through the portal beyond. If you wish to do this, turn to 298. Trying to talk too quickly again. If you do not want to do this now, but think you may wish to do so later, make a note of this paragraph. You can return here from any chamber on this floor of the castle in order to teleport later, but not after you have crossed any stairways. If you wish to return to the main western passage outside the wizard's chambers, turn to 3. Okay, so we're going. We don't want to use it now, but we want to keep note of this. Yeah, make a note of this paragraph. So teleport. I'll put teleport paragraph. It's 229 because I think I might want to use. I think I might want to use this later. 229. Didn't want to have done a comma there. I keep mixing up apostrophes with commas. Okay, so for now we're going to return to 3. But remember, we can't use the teleporter until after, and we have to use a teleport spell with it, of course, and we can't return to it if we cross any stairways, up or down or whatever. Okay, so where are we going now? Back to paragraph 3. Okay, now we want the first door to the south. Turn to 320. Okay. The lock on this door is smashed, so you gently push it open and find yourself in what must once have been a great library. Alas, the beautiful leather-bound books and illuminated manuscripts have been destroyed in an orgy of senseless rampaging. The orcs have even built a bonfire of books and bookcases. What's the word for that? The Philistines, I think. Bonfire of books and bookcases. There are few of the latter still stand empty and forlorn against the walls. There may be some clues left in the debris. If you whatever. If you are willing to spend some time in searching. If you decide to do this, you must eat a meal, then turn to 373. If you decide that this shambles isn't worth investigating, turn to 3 and explore elsewhere. Okay, so we are going to explore, of course, so we're going to use some more provisions. Blimey, Salazar is a hungry little critter, isn't he? Whoops, wrong thing. Wonder where he's, what goes in must come out. He hasn't used the toilet yet. Imagine that with a paragraph. You must use the toilet now, or you'll lose a stamina point or a skill point from walking around with messed up clothes. Anyway, enough of that. So turn to 373. I apologise for that disgusting digression, disgusting tangent. Some people have complained, well, not really complained, but sort of left comments saying that I digress too much and go off on a tangent, but you're just going to have to put up with it, because that's what's going to happen. You wanted me to read these books, you have to put up with the tangents, I'm afraid. Test your spot skill. If you're unsuccessful, turn to 212. If you fail, you find nothing, so leave and turn to 3 to search elsewhere. Okay, so... Oh yeah, testing spot skill. We have to -2 for Salazar's ability, don't we, or something like that. Yeah, because that's his disadvantage, isn't it, if it's testing spot skill. And unfortunately... Um, yeah, it makes no sense, this does, yeah. It says test your spot skill. If you are unsuccessful, turn to 212. If you fail, you find nothing. But that's both, isn't it? If you fail and are unsuccessful, it's both. That's stupid. It means if you are successful. But anyway, as I was going to say, unfortunately, we need to be successful at this. Otherwise, the book is uncompletable, I think. So, if we screw this up, then I'll have to keep trying until I am successful. Luckily, though, because it's testing spot skill, if you remember, not that one, if you remember, I wrote down that if we test spot skill as Salazar, then we can subtract 2 from the dice roll. And that means because our skill is actually 10, that effectively puts our skill up to 12 for spot skill tests, meaning that we can't lose. So all we have to do is test our spot skill here, and then we're guaranteed to be successful. So we just need this to be less than or equal to 12, or rather do the dice roll and then subtract 2 from it, even if it is as high as 12, then it'll go down to 10 and then we're still successful. So let's do this anyway. So we get 4, and then we subtract 2 from that, which is 2, and that's definitely less than 10, so we were successful. And that's all we needed to do, really. So, yep. Okay, so... but yeah, it's a misprint here. It means if you are successful, not unsuccessful, because that's the same thing. So 212 here. And let's see what's in the library. One of the bookcases seems to be ever so slightly out of alignment with the south wall. Further examination shows that it can be pushed so that it rotates, and behind it is a secret passageway which leads down to the east. It is dark here, so if you enter and you do not have a lantern or a light spell, you must temporarily subtract 2 points from your skill for as long as you are in an unlit area. If you decide to explore the secret passageway, turn to 131. If you would rather explore elsewhere, turn to 3. But make a note that you can return to explore the secret passageway later if you wish by turning to this paragraph, as long as you are still on this level of the castle, but not if you have crossed any stairways. Okay, okay, we're going to explore the secret passageway, so turn to 131. At the bottom of the stairs, the secret passageway runs for a long way eastwards, then turns north. Test your spot skill here. If you have a lantern or a light spell, if you have neither, turn to 271. If you are successful, turn to 30. If you fail, turn to 271. Okay, we do definitely have a lantern still, because it's there and I haven't lost it. So, but we still need to test our spot skill, which we're guaranteed to be successful in. Because of before, so let's roll the 2 dice again, and we get 5, minus 2 is 3, which is definitely less than 10, so we were successful again. Okay, so if you are successful, turn to 30, if you fail, turn to 271. Okay, so yeah, obviously if you fail, it's like if you have no lantern. So turn to 30. Along the west wall of this northwards running passage, a couple of bricks are clearly out of place, and after a swift check you find that many are loose. Removing them, you discover a narrow crawlway leading a few yards to the west beyond the portal you have excavated, and at the end of it there is some kind of wooden object in an end chamber. However, scrambling along this narrow passage is going to be very difficult, except for stubble. If you want to crawl along it, turn to 86 rather, the mouse was over it. Turn to 86. If you prefer to continue northwards, turn to 271. So you're going to crawl along it, so turn to 86. As you make your way along the passage on hands and knees, little side doors open halfway along, and from each doorway a tiny imp-like creature armed with a long skewering pin stabs at you. You can't back out, and you are forced to fight. If you are Anvar, you must deduct 4 from your attack strength here. Being big, you find it hard to move around in this cramped passage. If you are Braxis, you must deduct 3 from your attack strength here. If you are Salazar, you must deduct 2 from your attack strength here. If you are Stubble, you can fight normally. Finally, if you are wearing plate mail armor, its bulk is a disadvantage here, and you must deduct 1 further point from your attack strength. The spells Fireball or Thunderbolt cannot be used here because the area is so cramped. Fight the imps together. They are small, and a successful hit from one of them will cause you to lose only 1 point from your stamina. If you win, you manage to reach the chamber beyond the crawlway. Within the chamber is a tower chest. Taking its contents, you return to the main North Secret Passage and continue northwards down to 271. Okay, so this is 86. So how do we deal with battles again where there are 2 of them? How do we do this? Fighting more than 1 creature. Together, you must fight all of them in one battle. In step 1 of your get attack strength for all the creatures attacking you. In step 3, blah blah blah. If you have the entire set of all proceed. Okay, so we have to do all of them in one go, and then if they So there's 2 chances effectively for them to win. It's like 1 creature, but there's 2 attack rolls really, and then we have to decide which one to attack. So we have to attack together. Now shall I write this down? First castle imp, second castle imp. Let's just write it down separately, and then we'll just deal with it as we can. First castle imp. Second castle imp. Whoops. Oh, I put it on. No, I didn't. Lost the shift. Okay, 5 4 5 4. Okay, that's easy to remember. Right, 5 5 5 4 comma 4 comma. Okay. Right, okay, so let's do this together, and my skill is 10, remember, and we have to subtract 2 from our attack strength because we're in a small enclosed space or something. Okay, so roll for the first imp first. He gets a 6. 6 plus 5 is 11, so he gets 11. Again 11, so it's 11 11, and then for me it's 7, so 11 11 17, so I win. So 11 11, and I'll put 17 on both of them. Yeah, I'll put 17 on both of them, but I'll choose to get rid of this one first. So he goes down to 2. So I have to decide which one to attack, I think. I think that's how it works. Let me just check again. Groan I can hear, but I have to. Alright. Yeah, may choose which of your opponents you have struck. So, yeah, that's how it's going to be. So we can only attack 1 at a time. Okay, so let's continue with this. So they have 5, so they get 5. That's 10, 10, 13, 18. 10, 13, 18. I get the 18, of course. So 10, 13, and then I get 18, so I win again. So that's the end of the first imp, unless I wanted to be a masochist and carry on fighting 2 at a time, but I'll get rid of this one all in one go. There we go, he's on naught now, so he's dead. Right, so now it's just him now, so 5 4, and then me. Okay, well 5, yeah, still 5 4. So he gets a 7, that's 12, I get a 3, that's 13. That was close, wasn't it? Blimey. So he gets 12. Oh yeah, wait a minute, I have to subtract 2, don't I? Yeah, so this still would have worked. Wait a minute, let me just do this. The 12. So he actually wins that. Wait a minute. So he's won that one, the little git. Unbelievable, because I had to subtract 2. I forgot about that. So my attack would actually go down to 15 here. But I'd still win because they were so small. Because their attacks were so small. So that would have gone down to 16. But I still would have won them anyway, because that was still greater than 13 and 10 respectively. And the 15 was still greater than 11 and 11 respectively. Yeah, but yeah, he wins in that one because he got 12 and I have to put mine down to 11. Unbelievable. Can you believe that? I rolled a 3. Fine, your little imp gets me down to 16 then. Very well. So, back to the drawing board. He gets a 5, that's 12. Yeah, 12, and I get a 4, that's 14, so that's down to 12. Right, so 12 and 12, so no overall control in general elections speak. No, that's for council elections, no overall control. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so nothing there. 10, he gets 15. I get 3, that's 13 down to 11. So he's got me again. 15 to 11. Unbelievable. Can you believe that? This little imp git has actually gotten me twice now. Unbelievable. Annoying dice roll. I can't stand it. Not the program, I just mean the general. I just can't stand probability in general. Right, not the theory, that's pretty simple mostly. Just the general fact that it exists, that probability exists. Anyway, he gets a 7, that's... wait a minute, he added 5. He got a dice roll of 5. That wasn't... No, I made a mistake. Yeah, I know I added that up wrong. Yeah, I'll take my hat off. I added up wrong. I assumed that it was that his skill was 7. It wasn't. It was 5 before. But I've done that now, and I can't really rely on my memory enough. So I screwed it up. It was my mistake for not adding it up right. So you were probably shouting at the screen, "No, you've added it up wrong." Yeah, it's my fault, and because of that, I'm going to punish myself and remove more stamina points. So that was my fault. I'll take my hat off. Anyway, so this time it is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. I get 6. 6 plus 10 is 16. That goes down to 14 minus the 2. So 12 to 14. So I definitely win this one. I can't even add up. I can't even add up, for heaven's sake. I'm so stupid. Right, okay, so now he gets a 7. That's 12 again. I get 11. That's pretty much add 9. So 19. So 12 to 19, I think that was. Yeah, 12 to 19. So that means he's dead. Little imp git is dead, and I lost more stamina points because I screwed up the adding. That's my fault. I should write it down every time I do it, but I can't be bothered. And that's just my nature. Right, I'm always trying to find shortcuts. Yes. Blimey. Right, so to press it several times at the work. Okay, if you win, you manage to reach the chamber beyond the crawlway. Within this chamber is a tower chest. Taking its contents, you return... Okay, so you have to do the tower chest. Taking its contents... That assumes I did do the tower chest. I mean, it did say that they're optional. Anyway, so we have to test our luck. Our luck is currently 6. So we need this dice roll to be 6 or less to be lucky. Otherwise, you have to lose 3 stamina points. And we get a 6. Oh, good, we were lucky. Good, that's a bit of luck. But we still have to lose a luck point, so we don't lose 3 stamina points, but we still have to lose a luck point regardless. And then we have to roll a die. If it's even, we get a silver thing. If it's odd, we get a gold thing. Because I got even last time and I got a silver thing, didn't I? So roll 1 die. It's even again, so we get another silver thing. So we get another silver dagger. Because we got 4 last time. That was even, so it must be silver dagger without checking. So that's 2 silver daggers. That's done. So now we can go to 271. What a kerfuffle that fight was, wasn't it? The passageway ends at a junction. To the east, a short section leads to a door. To the west, a narrow passage winds and twists further northwards, and it becomes a crawlway after a few yards. If you want to open the door to the east, turn to 13. If you want to head west and then north, which means a crawl on hands and knees, turn to 355. If you want to return to the library and the passageway outside it, then explore elsewhere, turn to 3. Okay. We are going to open the door to the east. Turn to 13. Nose is running for some reason, even though I don't have a cold and there's no dust in the air. The door here is plain and looks creaky and slightly warped, but it is locked. Forcing the door open, your arm is slashed by a vicious, serrated, scything blade, which slices down out of the frame opposite the lock. Deduct 2 points from your stamina. Let's do that forthwith. Down to 12. We're not in combat, so I'll use some provisions, put up to 16. Let's go on the next line. And let's put our provisions down to 5. There we go. Yelping with pain, you prepare to confront the creatures behind the trapdoor. However, what confronts you are 3 starving, ragged, and very young men, one of them hardly grown to manhood. As well as the ramshackle bedding, the wonky table, and the dilapidated chairs in this room, which is lit by the blue glow of a magical torch, you see a wooden chest. The young men back away from you, heavy knives already in their hands. They are clearly afraid of you and are not attacking. If you want to fight them, turn to 59. If you prefer to talk to them, turn to 100. Have a guess what we're going to do. We're going to talk to them. Always avoid conflict if at all possible. Here they are. That one looks pretty old. They're the one on the left. One on the right looks like a boy. Okay, so we're going to talk to them and turn to 100. 100! If you ever watch the darts, Georgie Noble, the otherwise known as, his nickname is the Puppy. He's the sort of scorer in darts. I haven't seen darts for ages. It is quite enjoyable to watch though, but they do sort of drink a lot. There was one called Andy Ford who was like 20 odd stone or something, and he was an alcoholic. He was a champion, and as soon as he stopped drinking, he lost weight drastically. He needed 20. No, I don't think he was 20 stone. I think he was 40 stone. That's it. Something like, yeah, not 20 stone. He was 40 stone. As soon as he stopped drinking, his weight went down to like 14 stone because he was an alcoholic. And they class darts as a sport. They're supposed to be sportsmen, you know, on a par with athletes. Anyway, and he was called, the dart scorer is called Georgie Noble, who's also known as the Puppy for some reason. Anyway, and that just reminded me because he used to say 100 like that. Anyway, enough of that. The Bedraggled Thieves are very glad that you don't want to fight them. They have a hard enough time just surviving, stealing enough food to keep them alive and staying away from the orcs and zombies of the castle. The thieves warn you of the castle imps. They have a lair to the west of the thieves' hideout. On the main floor above, they tell you that a feast hall and kitchens lie due west to the double doors at the end of the entrance hall, and that north of the area is a smithy and an armourer's. West of the library there are a wizard's chambers and a strange indoor garden with a small magical fountain. At the end of the north passageway, opposite the wizard's chambers, there is a crazy merchant, Coastery, from whom the thieves sometimes buy food in return for purloined valuables. North of the indoor garden, in turn, there is a temple which is guarded by undead monsters. In order to get to the next floor of the castle, you leave the library and head west and then north to a guard room with a west-facing door. A north-facing door there leads down to the jail dungeon. They shiver at the mention of this. Finally, the youngest of the thieves boldly offers to accompany you a little further into the castle, hoping thereby to get some extra food or equipment for himself and his impoverished friends. If you want to consider hiring him, turn to 160. If you want to leave and take the crawlway to the west, having not done so before, turn to 355. If you want to return to the main castle, turn to 3. Okay. So we need to write down that Coaster is the merchant's name. So, coaster, merchant, and then I'm just reading my notes here, sorry. Okay, so we're going to hire him. So, if I want to consider hiring him, turn to 160. So I'm going to consider hiring him. Might be handy. If you want to hire the young thief, you must pay him 4 gold pieces. In return, he can help you in the following ways. First, he can pick any locks you come across and bypass any traps, so you will not have to take damage from traps on doors. But tower chests, you must open yourself, and the thief cannot open doors with magical locks or runes of them. It means on them. So I'm going to hire him. I have to use 12. I have to put my gold down to 12 because I have to use 4 of it. There we go. Really good. I don't think he'll take gold tapestry, even though that is worth 4 gold. Anyway, so I have the thief, so I've hired thief. Hired thief, there we go. Second, the little thief can help you fight, so while he is with you, you can add 2 to your attack strength. However, once the thief has helped you with 3 combats, that's as much of a risk as he is prepared to take, and he will then leave. Keep a note of the number of combats he helps you with if you hire him. Okay, so plus 2 attack strength, that'll be handy. Combats, I'll just put that, there we go, combats. I'll keep a tally of them, how many he's used, so he's only allowed to use 3. I'll put 3 maximum. There we go. So I'll write that down when I need to. And he will then leave. Keep a note of the number of combats with which he helps you if you hire him. You can choose which combats he will help you with. They do not have to be the first 3, but the thief will not fight any dragon, nor will he enter the throne room on the floor above or cross any wooden stairway. Blimey. Okay, so no dragons. No dragons. Throne room. Or wooden stairway. There we go. Right, blimey. Anything else? Is he diabetic? Do I have to get some insulin for him? Does he have asthma? I need to find an inhaler for him as well. Decide whether to hire him. If you do, make a note to turn to 316 when the thief leaves you after 3 combats. Okay, so 316 when he leaves. 316 when he leaves. Okay, blimey, right. Alright. Now you set off for the main body of the castle, taking the thief's advice not to risk a confrontation with the vicious little imps to the west. Turn to 3. Okay, so let's go back to 3. Okay. Make for the, here we're going to make for the north side passage. So turn to 218. North side passage. Looking down the torchlit northern side passage, standing at the point where it joins the east-west passageway, you can see 3 doors. One close to you on the west side of the passage, another further along, and a door at the end of the passage on the north side. If you want to return to the east end of the main east-west passage, turn to 3. If you want to go to the western end of the main east-west passage, turn to 357. Otherwise you should open a door along this north passage which you have not opened before. Will you open the first door on your left, turn to 398, the second door on your left, turn to 107, the door at the end of the passage, turn to 65. Door at the end of the passage, turn to 65. There is a faded brass plaque on this door which reads faintly, "Please knock before entering." Below this is a brass door knocker fashioned in the shape of a Pegasus head, with a lucky horseshoe nailed underneath for good measure. You're not sure what to make of all this. What if there are guards or monsters inside using this paraphernalia as a trap? If you want to knock on the door, turn to 384. If you decide to open it without knocking, turn to 90. If you prefer to search elsewhere, turn to 218. Okay, we're going to knock, of course. It's only the polite thing to do. 384. £2,133. If you've seen Train Spotting, you'll understand that. I don't know why I wanted to say that. There is an irritable shout from behind the door. "Yes, yes, come in." So you open the door. You're astonished to find a scowling man wearing a blue tunic and a brown skull cap. A strap from which an eyeglass droops circles his forehead, ready to be pulled down quickly to inspect new treasures. This surely marks him out as coming from the plains of Cabal, legendary for its haggling merchants and shady denizens. The man stands silent before a veritable treasure trove inside the room. You can see armor, food, weapons, and more. If you decide to attack him and afterwards take what you can, turn to 267. If you want to ask what he has for sale, turn to 168. Okay, we're going to ask what he has for sale, because we're not evil. 168, despite looking like a clown. If you think you know the name of the merchant, convert his name into a number using the following code: A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and so on. Add together the numbers corresponding to the letters in his name, then turn to the paragraph with the same number. If the paragraph does not begin, you must be, you have guessed wrongly, and you must turn to 194 instead. If you don't know his name, you ask the merchant how he has survived here. He replies simply that he has certain magical defences against marauding orcs and the like. After he killed 2 of them who were trying to loot his shop, they kept away for a while, and now they even come to buy food now and again. Mind you, it's not easy getting supplies these days. The castle folk who fled into the old village bring what they can, but you just can't get the service these days, he reflects sadly. You think that he's probably crazy, but he does have some worthwhile things for sale. Turn to 194. Okay, we do know his name because we wrote it down. It's Cole Sturry. So we're going to add the numbers together. So we have 3 plus... O is 15. I always remember that because N is 14. So 3 plus 15 is 18. H is... Wait a minute. E is 5. E, F, G, H. Wait a minute. 5, 6, 7, 8. E, F, G, H. Yeah, so H is 8. Don't know why that took me so long. So H plus the 8 plus 18 is 26. I'll get my calculator out here, I think. But I'll not because I can't add up, just because I'll lose the numbers otherwise. I can't be bothered to write them down. So we have 3 plus 15 plus 8. S, what's that? Well, 50. What's S? Oh, O is 15, P is 16. Q is 17, R is 18, so S must be 19. So 19. T must be 20 then, because it's one more. U is one more, so it must be 21. R must be 18, because it's less than 1 less than 19, so 18 plus 18. And then E is 5 again. So that's 127 I have. So let's turn to 127, and if this isn't R you must be, I will try again. 127. It is R you must be. Yep, good. Okay. You must be that excellent merchant of great repute, Three Eyes Harg, you say, offering a hand in friendly greeting. The strange old man's face breaks into a warm smile, and he replies, "You've heard of me, then? Do they still speak of me in far Cabal? You have no idea whether they do or not, but you flatter him, assuring him how well thought of he is, and how pleased you are to meet him." At this, the merchant begins to take a shine to you and is pleased to do business. If you spend at least 8 gold pieces at his store, I just don't understand why. I understand it's like American, that to call a shop a store. But as far as I'm concerned, a store is like a storeroom, not necessarily having things for sale. But somehow, I have no gripes about Americans calling a shop a store, because actually they have different words for things sometimes. But I hate how it's crept over here. They call stores. I mean, they call shops stores here. I mean, a supermarket is a superstore, department store. It's not a store. It's a shop. I just don't get it. I mean, the author Ian Livingstone isn't American, so why has he called it a store? It's a shop. Anyway, so I'm going to call it a shop. If you spend at least 8 gold pieces at his shop, he will give you a small green crystal pendant in the shape of a key. Don't know what it's good for, but I'm sure it opens something round here, he says offhandedly. Turn to 194 to look over what he has for sale. Okay, so knowing his name just gives us the pendant. So I'm going to spend 8 things, so I'll just get it off now. So I'll just put in there that I have the green pendant thing. There we go. Green pendant key thing. There we go. Oh, there he is. He looks very knowledgeable about things. Right, okay. This will be the last paragraph I did before I end the video. The merchant has the following items for sale. Provisions, 1 gold piece each. Lantern oil, 1 flask, 1 gold piece. Rope, 10 meters, 1 gold piece. Have I been using the... It didn't say anything about lantern oil. 194, lantern... Rubbish. There must be something written in here that says lantern. No, apparently lantern is never written down, apparently. I don't believe that at all. Try lantern. Might have been written wrong or something. Yeah, there it is. Lantern. No, it doesn't say I don't have I have to use lantern oil. It didn't mention that at all. I mean, it just said the light spell thingamy-bob. Equipment. It's just I have a lantern for seeing in the dark. It doesn't say anything about oil, so I don't know why I'd need lantern oil. So I wish they'd make it clear. If I need lantern oil, then tell me I need lantern oil, and then I have to buy more. Doesn't make any sense. Right. Anyway. Right, what we're going to buy is, I've written in my notes. Anyway, lantern oil, 1... I haven't read this yet, sorry. Rope, 10 yards, 1 gold piece. Long bow and arrows, 5 gold pieces. Plate mail armor, 12 gold pieces. That doesn't apply to Salazar, we can't buy them or use them at all. Magic ring, 6 gold pieces. Potion of luck, 5 gold pieces. Vial of plague antidote, 6 gold pieces. Vial of anti-venom, 3 gold pieces. If you buy the long bow, you'll be instructed later on when you can use it. The plate mail armor will add 1 to your attack strength. The merchant has human-sized plate mail only. The potion of luck can be drunk at any time except during a combat, and it restores 1 to 3 lost luck points. Roll 1 die and halve the number rolled, rounding fractions up. A vial of plague antidote will cure 1 and only 1 form of plague which you may be unfortunate enough to catch, restoring all losses from initial but not from current stamina. Okay. The anti-venom can be drunk at... I don't get that. Oh, okay. Oh, soil losses from initial stamina, yeah, because plague can reduce your initial stamina. The anti-venom can be drunk at any time except during combat, and for the first 3 combats after you drink it, it will prevent you being harmed by poison. The merchant also has a limited supply of extra special but expensive magical items. If you want to inspect these, turn to 16. If you want to sell an item here, the merchant will pay you 1 gold piece less than the selling price listed above. Make your purchases or sales and amend your adventure sheet accordingly. Note that if you acquire more gold and wish to buy again, you may return here by turning to this paragraph until you cross a stairway in the castle. Now it's time to leave and search elsewhere. Turn to 218. Now, does the tapestry, because I got that tapestry, can I just use that as money? There we go. If you can find someone to sell it to. No, does the merchant count as someone to whom I can sell the tapestry? I don't know. I don't know. It does say gold pieces, so I don't have gold, but I have the tapestry, so I have to sell the tapestry to someone. Anyway, what are we going to buy? We're going to buy... we're going to buy 1 flask of lantern oil. So we're going to get that. After my moan about the lantern oil, we are going to get lantern oil. So lantern oil, 1 flask of. Next thing, we want to buy some. I need to buy over 8 things worth, and I'll get a magic ring, and I'll get some provisions. No, what should I get? 1 gold piece. I'll get. How many provisions do I have? 5. I will get. How much do I have? I have 12. I'll get 3 provisions. That'll take it down to 8 gold. So I'll put up to 8 provisions. So now I have 8 gold. Now I remember that. I won't write it down yet. And I will get a magic ring. Well, I am Salazar. I won't get the ring. It's a bit too expensive, but I will get the potion of luck because it is handy. So I'll get the potion of. Yeah, I'll get the potion of luck. Yeah, so 5 gold pieces. I have 8 left. That will put me down to 3 gold pieces, won't it? So I have 3 gold pieces now, and I have the potion of luck. Because luck is quite, is needed. Of luck. Right, I have to copy down what I need to do for the potion of luck then. So, I wonder if we lost. Roll 1 die and halve the number. Right, okay. Roll 1. Roll 1 die, halve number. Round up fractions. There we go. Okay, and that will do, I think. Okay, so now it's time to leave and search elsewhere. Turn to 218. I just note down merchant 194. There we go. This is quite a convoluted mess. My my adventure sheet now. Is it 218? Can't remember. Short-term memory is bad. Yeah, 218. Right, this will be the last paragraph, then I'll end the video, I think. Okay, looking along the torchlit northern side passage, standing at the point where it joins the east-west passageway, you can see 3 doors. One close to you, on the west side of the passage, another further along, and the door at the end of the passage on the north side. If you want to return to the east end of the main east-west passage, turn to 3. If you want to go to the western end of the main east-west passage, turn to 357. Otherwise, you should open a door along this north passage, which you're not open before. Will you open? Oh yeah, I read that already, didn't I? Okay, so we shall decide So we shall decide where to go in the next video. So thanks for watching and goodbye.